Hey everybody, I thought I would just walk you through some journal entries since I know they can be confusing when you're first learning about them. So what I've got up on the screen are 10 different transactions, and we're just going to do the journal entries for each of them. Remember, for each journal entry, we have to have a debit entry and a credit entry, and that they have to balance, meaning we have to have the same amount of debits as we have credits. Sometimes you'll see journal entries that have more than just two. They may have three entries or four entries. Those are called compound entries. And the same rule applies. We have to have debits and credits, and the debits and credits have to equal each other. So for the first couple, I'll walk you through my process, and then we'll get a little faster. But let's just look at the first transaction. The owner invests $10,000 cash into the business. So for me, I always say, okay, what accounts are impacted? And the answer is the first account that's impacted is the account cash. And what's happening with it? It'll be going up. And what type of account is it? It's an asset. So I ask myself those three questions. And then I'm ready to apply the fourth, which is, well, what happens when an asset goes up? And the answer is I debit the asset. So the accounts being impacted here are cash and then common stock if this is a corporation. If it's a sole proprietorship, we'll usually just call it something like owner investment or something like that. So two accounts, cash and common stock. The cash is going up and it's an asset, and the common stock is also going up, and it's an equity account. And then I apply the rules. When assets increase, they're increased with a debit. When common stock accounts increase, they're increased with a credit. Then I'm ready to make my entry. I'll debit cash and I'll credit uh, common stock, which really just means money put into the business by the owners. And you can see I've got a debit and a credit, and they equal each other. On the second transaction, the business buys office equipment for $3,000 cash. Okay, what accounts? Equipment or office equipment, which is an asset, and cash, which is an asset. The equipment is going up because we're adding new equipment to the business, and the cash is going down because we're paying it. And so I'm ready to make my journal entry now because I know an asset going up is debited. So I'm going to call it office equipment. I'll debit $3,000, and then cash, which I'm paying out, I'll go down or credit 3,000. On my third entry, the business borrows $5,000 from the bank. So again, I'll say what's happening. My cash is going up, and my loan, which I'll call a note payable, that means money I owe to the bank. And a note just means that we've made it official and given us interest and terms like that. That's as opposed to like an account payable, which is where I'll buy something from a supplier and then just they'll say, go ahead and pay me later. So in this case, I have cash going up. So that's a debit because cash is an asset, and notes payable, which is a liability, going up. So that's a credit. Number four, the customer pays $1,500. Oh, a customer pays $1,500 for services rendered. So again, someone's paying me, so my cash is increasing. An increase to an asset like cash is a debit. And then if I've earned the money because I rendered the services, my service revenue, which means money I earn from my customers for doing work, will also be going up, and revenues increase with a credit. Number five, the business pays $1,200 for office rent in cash. So here I am incurring an expense. We'll call it rent expense. And then my cash is going down. Expenses, whenever we incur them, we say they're increasing. So I'll debit the rent expense account and I'll credit the cash account because I'm paying out cash. Six, the business buys $500 of office supplies on credit. So when it says we buy something on credit, what that means is we're not paying cash for it right now. Instead, we're promising to pay later. And that creates an account called an account payable, money we owe to somebody else. So I'm buying supplies, office supplies, and they're assets. So they'll increase with an asset. I mean, with a debit because they're an asset. And then our account payable will increase, and it's a liability. So liabilities increase with a credit. Seven, the business pays $300 for utilities using cash. So we're going to have a utilities expense, which is just money that we have to pay out, or not necessarily, but an expense is something like a cost we've incurred for doing business, and they increase with a debit, and then we're paying out cash, so our cash will go down or be credited. Eight, the customer makes a $200 payment toward a 600 outstanding balance. That can confuse you because you'll be like, what do I do with the 600? And the answer is nothing when I'm doing the journal entry. I'm just going to record the amount of the payment. Okay. So if I'm making a payment, my cash will be going down, which will be a credit to cash. And if I'm paying off money I owe, remember money I owe is called accounts payable. So if I'm paying off accounts payable, um, oh, wait, I got confused. Sorry, a customer makes a payment, so they're paying us. My mistake. That's important to actually figure out where you are in the journal entry. Am I the one getting paid or the one who's paying? So in this case, a customer is paying us, so our cash will go up. And if they had an outstanding balance, that means they owed us. We didn't earn more money. Instead, we're collecting some of the money they owe us. So we will credit accounts receivable, which is an asset. And so our asset accounts receivable or money owed to us is going down, and our asset cash is going up. Nine, the business receives $2,000 from a client for a loan payment. So somebody is paying us money they owe us from a loan. So again, if we're receiving money, then our cash asset will increase with a debit. And if it was money owed to us, a loan receivable is what money owed to us is called, will be, let's see, we'll be crediting that 2000. Whenever money is owed to us, it's on our books as an asset. So if somebody owes me $2,000, that's an asset. It's not the same as having the cash of 2000, but it still has the value. And when they pay me, then my cash will go up and the loan receivable, the amount they owe me, will go down. Last one, the business pays the owner a $500 dividend. A dividend just means money that the business pays to the owners, usually a share of the earnings of a business that are paid out to the owners. In a corporation, we call that a dividend. If you're taking a class where they are using like a sole proprietorship type of company, they'll usually call that something like an owner draw. What all it means is money paid out of the business to the owner. And so the money that the business has that is called retained earnings. So our retained earnings, which is a equity account, an equity account, will be decreased by the amount of the dividend, $500. And then our cash, because we're paying the cash from the business to the owners, will also be decreased. So I hope that helps you as you're learning how to make journal entries, just to kind of see, and especially, like I said, the process I go through. I've been doing this for years and years, and I still sort of talk myself through this process of saying what accounts are impacted. Are they going up or are they going down? Or in other words, in what way are they being impacted? And then asking myself, what type of accounts are they? Asset, liability, equity, revenue, expense, or dividend? And then what are the rules? So if I have an asset account going up, I know the rule is that I debit that, and then I make the journal entry. That really helps me minimize my mistakes. I hope this was useful to you. And if you have questions or anything else, don't be afraid to put them down in the comments, and I'll do my very best to answer.